She only blinks when you do. She only blinks when you do. She only blinks when you do.
That damn weeping angel. Welcome everyone to the Toku Portal podcast for Mashin Sentai Kiramager. I am Bashin B, and joining me today is
Right. Welcome to episode 23. Jeez.
right. Like I didn't realize we were like halfway through this show already
Uh,
because it doesn't feel like it.
uh. So, this week we find out that Queen Mabiyune, or however it's pronounced, Ma- Mabayuin? I don't know.
Mabashina's mother.
The Queen is still sort of alive. She had the special power to embed her soul into gemstones, and so when she died from the curse, she embedded her soul into the jewel upon her crown, and now it is ready to wake up.
So I feel like this is something the king would have known ahead of time. Most couples in relationships would share intimate uh, information like that, especially if it can save you from dying.
And like the Aqua Kirame Stone knew about it, so
So why wouldn't the king? I mean, I guess that would explain why he kept the crown around beyond sentimental means or reasons. But yeah, this episode took an entirely different turn than we expected it to last week.
yep.
Because we were having the discussion, because I want to say it was after the podcast, about how them bringing her back to life wrecks everything we know.
But the
Which
answer
works out
is
well.
so Takemichi recalls a memory yet of when he was trying to boost the strength of his Wonder Breaker, or whatever it's called.
Shiny Breaker.
Shiny Breaker.
To be fair, he does say wonder a lot.
Yeah, he calls everything Wonder. Uh, Turns out that the queen had another power that where she could absorb Cure Mental and amplify it. She demonstrates this for Takemichi by absorbing his Shiny Breaker's power to help him achieve the strength he was looking for, and then some.
So I want to point something out real quick because I'm a little confused.
About what?
I thought gemstones were sentient and
Not
they
all of
just
them.
blew one the hell up.
That one wasn't. Like the blue stones that Mabushina cries, like those ones aren't sentient.
Right, but due to Jiru's imagination and whatnot, one of them is in a
Only
weird way.
when they use it.
Yeah, and until they touch butts. Um, but no, it was just a weird thing to as soon as it showed him trying to break the stone, my brain went, "Isn't that sentient?" Like that was my initial reaction to it, and I'm like, if that's
Yeah,
not the case, that
like I had
that
that same initial thought at first of like, wait, why is he attacking a stone? But then it became clear that like, oh, this is just a stone. This one isn't sentient.
I need more explanation of the rules.
Uh, so, uh, during this incident, Mabushina ends up getting hurt, and the queen is becomes incredibly distressed at the idea of her daughter being hurt, because at this point Mabushina is like really small.
And honestly, that everything about that scene was incredibly adorable. I'm not even gonna lie. Like her reaction, the king fawning over her because of it is just it was really cute.
Uh, and yeah, so when the queen is in bed and ill, the king tells Mabushina about like a proverb on Crystallia about meeting a heart twofold. Basically, when someone shows concern for you or something, you show concern back to them twice as much.
And honestly, especially with relationships or close friendships, like that is a very good way to look at things. Um, it's a good way to express that concern in a point where it is felt by the other person. And also is brought up in a way that is purely organic, so it doesn't feel like the normal forced MacGuffin line.
So, Takemichi pleads to the others, like, hey, when she wakes up, let's not tell her about, Crystallia and King Oladin and everything that's happened because we don't want to cause her any undue duress. It could literally crack her stone, and then she
You
really
know,
would be dead.
and again, natural organic reaction, especially given Takemichi's penance for wanting to keep Mabushina safe and happy. Obviously, he would want to do the same thing for his adoptive mother. I guess that would still be the case.
Yeah. So when the Jotunheim army does attack and the Rangers go out to fight it, Takemichi goes to join them but is interrupted when the Queen wakes up.
Calling him out.
She's still just in the stone though, embedded in the crown. So Mabushina is basically just walking the crown around, like, "Hey, why are we on Earth?" And Takamichi's like, "Oh, well, I wanted to come and visit my home planet, and everyone joined me." And the Queen just looks over and sees like the dozens of gemstones, including some of those are from Earth too. Like,
Right. Like, aside from the original five, all of them are from Earth.
no, not all of those. There's the original five. There's the Aqua Stone that are from Crystallia. Uh,
Um, and King Express, that would be it. The
but
rest
then
of them they
there's
found on Earth.
the three Shovel Squad, the three OG Shovel Squad, I should say.
Yeah, the
Um,
OG Shovel Squad, the Cement Mixer.
yeah, the Cement Mixer was one of them. The Forklift and what was the other one? The Steamroller.
Yeah, the Steamroller, the truck, and the forklift were the three OG
Okay, so
Shovel,
yeah, then you've got the cement mixer, the dump truck, and I feel like there's
and the
another,
vacuum cleaner,
the vacuum. Yeah.
which I think that was a Cement Mixer.
No,
Or
wait,
no,
the
that was
vacuum and the dump truck were the same thing. Yeah.
yeah. Them having multiple forms gets weird, but I also do like the fact of the Queen catching on that they looked different.
Oh yeah, because they were just gemstones, but now they have like their machine parts. And Fire's just like, well,
So far,
I
just
just wanted to,
go,
touch myself up. Just
like
went to,
there's
the gem salon.
there's points of this show that are just absolutely brilliant, and this is one of those moments. As bizarre as this episode is, it is filled with brilliance. And it's little moments like that that solidify this show as amazing to me. But at least Mabushino's not carrying around a Jolly Rancher, running around shaking a Jolly Rancher at people. Now it's just a crown.
Uh, so the monster of the week is a safe. And it's kidnapping people and turning them into coins to lock them inside his face, his head. I don't know. The monster design this week is weird. Not as weird as the marshmallow, but still weird.
This this monster design to me is well, let's call it for what it is. It's a mix of original Sentai and Lupin Ranger. Like 100% is what it did. How do you merge them? Giant safe head.
Uh, so to just try and distract her mother, Mabushina goes to like turn on the TV to be like, "Hey, look at Earth's beautiful scenery." But the TV was preset to the fight scene, and so the queen sees like, "Wait, are those Yodam soldiers? Wait, they weren't going to attack Earth until after Crystalia. So does that mean?" And like her gem starts like shaking, and so Mock, Green Gem, in with the quick thinking is like, no, 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 it's a play, it's a play. They're just using the Yodam soldier outfits as the bad guys.
I give him credit for the quick thinking. Because again, like a lot of this episode involves quick thinking. As dumb as this episode comes across, it's it's brilliant.
So because the monster is a safe, uh, they attribute it as a Crystalia play about five thieves that steal treasure from an enemy nation. But this is the Earth adaptation of it to account for the changes.
Literally every time she points out something is different, they literally just respond with, "Yeah, well, this is the Earth adaptation." Like this is one of those like they cover their tracks, attempt to cover their tracks so hard that they just fuck it up.
So Monster gets away, and when the others return, Takamichi explains to them what's going on before they get there. So when they show up, it's like, oh yeah, we're the acting troupe, and Shigeru Blue is an actual actor. Uh,
Oh, he tries to pull off being the lead actor.
but the Queen knows this play, and she knows what each member of the team's color assignment is. Yellow's the leader, red's the comic relief one. Pink is the charming safecracker. Green, I don't know. Blue is the geeky one that's there.
I forget what green was.
I forget as well. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got Jiru's role wrong.
Ah, I don't want to say it's close enough to being right.
The only ones that matter is one that matters is that Shigeru didn't get the role he thought he was going to for being the only one with acting experience, and even that doesn't matter. It literally does not.
The fact that I love about the way this entire scene plays out is it starts off with Shigeru introducing himself, de-henching,
And
throwing the code up the whole night, the whole flamboyant, over dramatic 9 yards
even
that
Mabushina is like,
he
this is
does,
one of Earth's most famous actors.
and he feeds into it, as he should, and um, the queen literally goes, "No, yellow is number one, red is number two, pink is number three, green is number four, blue is number five." So he literally goes from being the lead to basically being the jackass character. Like in this aspect, he's basically one step up away from being an extra, and he is not. He it almost breaks him, and it's amazing.
So yeah, the plan is to just pretend that the battle against the Jotunheim army is a play they're putting on to not worry her. So when the monster attacks again, Yoshina tries to be like, hey, let's watch it on the screen. But the queen is like, what? Don't be silly. Plays are meant to be watched in person. Let's go.
And the gemstones tag along too.
They couldn't help themselves. They were too nervous to see what happened.
To me, it was one of those like they knew this was going to be a train wreck and just wanted to watch it happen.
I'm sure Green felt that way. Uh, so Pink, using a stethoscope, it manages to crack the dial, but the safe still doesn't open because they also need a pin.
Mind you, the whole time, Blue is holding on to him, while wearing a backpack and a bandana
Yeah, he's a
because
professional actor.
he's the nerd and he's a professional actor. So he was given the explanation of the character, so he's gonna go all out with it. And again, we get another spanking comment from Pink. I wish those happened in Ghost.
Spanking comments.
Pink and
Yeah.
her spanking comments. Could you imagine if Canon was brought up spanking? It would change that whole Alan Sama dynamic entirely.
Mo, Alan Sama. I'll give you a spanking. No. Oh god.
Like I said, it would change that entire dynamic from being you know, your borderline my love interest slash relative. That
Oh,
dynamic
Oni
was weird in Ghost.
Sama. Quit being such a pain. You deserve a spanking.
But it's gonna be hard to watch. Go back and rewatch Ghost now.
Which, having actually watched Ghost now, it's good. Like, I don't get the hate. It's a good show, and the same writer is writing Saber, and I look forward to it.
I think for me, is it just seemed like it either dropped stuff
So, and I totally get
or
that.
rather not so much really dropped them, but I think kind of rushed them there towards the
That's what
end.
it was, because, like, I was watching it, and I was thinking about it. It's like, Vashi said they dropped plot points. Nothing's been dropped, but plenty of plot points were given a rushed and unsatisfying ending.
Especially, I think the to me the biggest thing that pissed me off with that show, and it's about the only thing that truly did, and we had discussed this well prior to this was the amount of times he died throughout this show.
Let's
And
see.
by died, I mean either he died or his time ran out.
Let's see here. He dies.
He dies episode
Well,
1,
he dies at the beginning of the show when he becomes a writer. He
his time
died.
runs out,
Um, his icon breaks, and then the movie. So that's four times during the series, and then in Heisei Generations, he has a heart attack.
which is the only time him coming back to life was, legit. Because I'm sorry, him coming back to life at the end of the show was a MacGuffin. I don't care. Because it was literally one of those, oh yeah, we're going to introduce two God characters just fucking because. Just to get him back to life. And to me, that I feel was one of the bigger issues with the show. That and the amount of times that Alain Sama was said in the show. Though to me, the best thing about it is it really increases my want for takoyaki.
So back to Kiramager. Uh, Cena tries to just brute force the combination by inputting as many combinations as she can, but she gets it wrong three times, and so that activates the emergency security measures, and so everything inside the safe will blow up in 10 minutes. And what the fuck kind of security measure is that? The safe is your head. Are you going to blow up with it?
Oh, I mean, I guess.
And while we're on the subject, what was your plan with those humans if you got away with this? Like,
He was gonna go start Toei.
I like like other monsters. Like, I get it. You're just killing off humans in creative ways. You're turning their our own culture against us. But like, what was your plan? What were you gonna do with them?
Right, like, and even in the monsters in this series have more or less had a cohesive plan for what that particular monster was doing. The train, like the train one, it was basically slowly making a magic circle or portal circle. The one making marshmallows made sense. Tarantula just wanted marshmallows, and they didn't have any money to buy any. The rugby dude was just blowing shit up. Like, there have been cohesive plans. This dude was just, yeah, no, I want money. Why? Reasons.
Money makes the world go round. Congratulations, you discovered capitalism. You gonna use capitalism against Earthlings? Joke's on you, bub. We already do that to ourselves.
So that's where Guy got the money.
What?
I said, so that's where Guy got the money. Thouser.
Oh. Anyways, the queen realizes that the fight is real, and she starts to panic again, and so Mabushina starts singing in front of everyone to distract her. And it's a big character moment because Mabushina used to be too shy to sing in front of people.
Like, and again, this is one of those brilliant moments where you have a character who's outstanding with as a character. Because I really do like Mabushina as a character prior to this episode. And up until now, she's been fairly outgoing. Like, up until this episode, we didn't get to see that shy side of her. I mean, beyond covering up when she went outside, which apparently is no longer a thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
I didn't think that was her being shy. I just thought that was her being like, I'm a rock.
Right. Like, to me now, I think it was more of her being shy, given the fact that she's running around not caring now.
Right.
Um, but this is how you can do a massive jump in character development with one episode while not taking anything away from anything we've seen of the character so far. Because it for them to point out, yeah, this is one of her grand fears. Because everybody has them. Mine is a fear of heights and clouds.
I'm
You
afraid of
know,
I'm afraid of drowning. You'll not get me to go scuba diving.
that's fair. Again, a lot of them are really understandable ones. Some of them are just asinine when you think about them logically. One of the biggest ones is speaking or being exposed to an audience, which
The
doing
public
this
that just comes from a sense of insecurity and worry about like ridicule for doing it wrong.
right, but there's also a fear of, like, I'm not gonna be the person I'm doing this for isn't gonna like it, or I may not do as well as I'm wanting to do because it can also be internalized too, and it can lead to that particular reaction of being extremely shy to the point of, no, I won't do it, which is where Mabushina was at the beginning of this through the flashbacks, was just more the, I'm too shy, I don't think I'm gonna do as good as I'm expected to do, either it be by her mother or by herself. And here she has no choice but to be courageous enough to distract her mother from the truth. This is a weird message to send to kids. It comes across right. It comes across right and proper. It's like, but when you kind of analyze the motives and mythology, methodology of what people are doing in this episode, it comes across as a very dishonest thing to teach kids.
Basically, Mabushina realizes her own insecurities aren't as important as uh, her mother's duress, and is
Right.
like, I will go out there and do what it takes to keep my mother smiling as long as it saves her.
It just happens to be let's feed the lie. Which again, through this, it gives it away, and
Yeah, no. The
honestly, it's a this whole point is it's a weird, beautiful moment.
the queen realizes that the fighting is real and that the Jotunheim army is attacking Earth, but she meets her daughter's courage to sing twice fold and when uses her own courage to
To
overcome the realization that her home is destroyed and her husband is gone.
right, like I said, an extremely beautiful moment, followed by her going to bed. But
Not yet, not
whatever.
yet. First, they need to crack the safe, and so she offers her power to Takemichi to shoot a stronger beam to laser cut the safe open.
I want to backtrack for just a small second, and you know what I'm gonna touch on. She's got fucking eyelids.
Mabushina
She
winks.
never blinks. She never blinks. She
She
has gone 22 episodes and has never blinked once.
she only blinks when you do.
God, it was un like it was a disturbing enough realization than last week when we were like,
Like
yeah,
when
no, we
couldn't
can't
tell
tell
when
if
her
she's
eyes,
blinking or not.
and this means that her eyes were open that entire time.
Yes, yes, it does.
We got the answer, but we didn't realize what it meant.
It also means in the first episode when we saw her face when she was, laying in bed before she wakes up to what's his name,
I don't remember.
her eyes were already open and then she blinked because it showed her eyes opening when we got her view, but
Huh.
her eyes were already open.
So, yeah.
God, this show is fucking weird.
CGI's eyelids aside.
At least they were gold. At least it was gold.
Yeah.
It fit with the rest of the weirdness with the gemstone settings.
It's time for the giant monster fight, so the Martians take their true forms, and the Queen realizes, like, oh wow, you guys are different now. Juru, he has the same power as His Majesty?
That's interesting. Which again, I feel is something that needs to sorely be addressed in this show.
So, while everyone else goes in the main mech, Juru summons the train's mech, and Mabushina and the Queen jump in as well to get a front row seat at the fight.
Because why not?
Uh,
I feel they're safer there. At least we won't have a loop patch stepping. Nobody's gonna be accidentally crushed this episode.
not this time, at least.
Maybe.
Um, and yeah, they fight the monster, they save the day, and the Queen goes back to sleep for no reason.
Like I said, like beyond the COVID precautions and whatnot, there was no reason for her to go back to sleep. She could have stayed sentient like that for however long was necessary for her to get a
Like,
body.
okay, even if you say COVID precautions, uh, in
She's
this
still somebody in a
form,
mask.
in this form, all she
She's
requires is
literally
a
just a voice actor.
she is just a voice actor that can stand
Right.
in a sound
Box
booth
by
by
herself.
herself. A sanitized
That
and
was
hopefully ventilated sound booth.
that's the closest reason I could get for this to be a thing. Like there's no reason for it beyond not having to put her in the episode in every episode.
I think that they just don't have anything for her to do right now, but they wanted to set her up for later.
Yeah, they're setting her up for when the king comes back.
Yeah, probably.
Because again, if you needed further proof that the king's going to somehow be alive.
So, so that's the episode. And then we get the special announcement. Because, hey Vashi, isn't it weird that we got the song and dance episode this early in the season?
Yeah, it was. Good
Well,
thing it's not. A good thing it wasn't the song and dance episode. It was a song and dance
because
festival.
it's the Kirame Music Festival, starting this week with Mabushina. Next week, the Kiramagers are gonna play in a band together.
Because why not?
I don't know what kind of advertising this got in Japan, or if like there was like commercials that we just didn't watch, but this came out of nowhere for us.
Oh yeah, like I'm sure this is something that was advertised. Like it
Yeah,
would not. It,
there
it to me it had to have been.
there probably were commercials for it that we just haven't been watching.
Right, because I mean, because we don't always see the episodes with commercials in them. Usually, by the time we get them, the commercials have already been cut. Very rarely are the other commercials in them. So, I mean, this could have been advertised for weeks ahead of time, just because. Why is this? Why is this? Kiramager Music Festival a thing? I have no idea. Is it necessary? God no. Does it look like fun? Yes, it does. Because again, what the fuck is this show?
Generally confusing, but still entertaining.
Like like I was saying before the podcast, like we get moments in every show of what the fuck am I watching?
And like,
And sometimes they go, sometimes it's just getting used to characters, i.e., Zero One's puns, Canon constantly calling out Alan Sama. I mean, there are various things. And to go the Sentai route, the big hulking guy from Car Ranger trying to lick the boss's ass. Car Ranger was weird. I still can't believe that was the first episode. But
right?
I mean, there are moments in a lot of tokusatsu where it's like, what the fuck did I just watch? That's been the staple of this fucking show.
Yeah, like you were saying before we started the podcast, like sometimes you have things where like, all right, so in the Wizard Christmas special, Santa is real,
Right.
but then sometimes you have Go Engine Sentai Goanger, where hey, there's a Christmas world with like hundreds of Santas.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far, and I'm kind of glad now. I'm gonna get there, but I'm kind of glad I haven't yet.
That appears in the Shinkenger versus Goanger movie.
I take it back. I have seen that. You're right. That was a thing. I completely blocked that out of my head. Yeah, that was an entire fucking thing.
In Goanger itself, you only see the one Santa, but in that movie, you find out there's a world of them.
It's like, and then you have pretty much anything Umika does in Deca Ranger.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Umika takes a bath.
to the point where they go off on a mission. She was in the bath when she took it, so her response was to run out of the bath after getting dressed, hair still soapy with the thingy on. To which her response was to bow in front of Kruger once, that was addressed that, yeah, no, you're not fully in uniform. To which her response was, she bows, shampoo gets on his nose, and she puts a shower cap over her face. and then bounces into down the tube. Like every series has a "what the hell did I watch" moment. Every series.
And
This is the first time we've had 23 of them.
Here,
Also, on another side note, this is also how you make the laser finishers look awesome.
oh yeah,
And I fucking hate laser finishers.
yeah. 23. What the fuck did I just watch? Here's to 23 more. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for more Kamen Rider Saber. Hopefully, more than just one person.
Yeah, hopefully I won't fall asleep tomorrow. I kind of passed out last week, so I apologize to both Zero and everybody else who tuned in.
And we'll see you next Tuesday for more Kiramager. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining our Happy Medicine Time. Kiramager, such a lovely show.